From the gleaming tower blocks to the luxury hotels, the glamorous, extravagant image Dubai flaunts to the world masks an ugly reality, where hundreds of thousands of migrant workers risk injury, even death, labouring dawn till dusk in one of the hottest places on earth, for around 30 pence an hour. But as well as luring Western tourists, Dubai's construction frenzy is also attracting allegations of modern-day slavery. It's 3 a.m, and for Dubai's army of South Asian workers, another long day dawns. We managed to gain exclusive access to this labour camp in Sharjah, the neighbouring emirate, which is home to some of Dubai's 400,000 workers. They sleep 6, 8 or 10 to a room. It's cramped, dirty, and there's no privacy. With a 17-hour day ahead, each morning's first task to cook breakfast crouched over a camp stove. These workers came to Dubai 2 years ago, fleeing poverty in India. Fearful of being deported, they asked that we didn't identify them. Like so many we spoke to, they told me they're now deep in debt after paying vast sums to unscrupulous recruitment firms. I sold my house and my belongings to raise the £1,000 fee, he says. I was promised a high salary, but when I arrived, it soon became clear I'd been lied to. Like most workers, their passports are taken by their employers when they arrive in Dubai.
Well, it's now around 4:30 in the morning. These workers have been up for about an hour and a half already. They're heading into Dubai to the construction site, and they won't be back here until around 8 or even 9 o'clock this evening, and then the whole process starts again.
By 6 a.m, the men are hard at work and temperatures are already rising. This site will eventually house hundreds of luxury villas. By lunchtime, the heat's unbearable, the humidity level 90%. They've been working without a break for nearly 7 hours. Death by heat exhaustion was becoming so common, the government introduced a midday break, during which employers are meant to provide shelter from the heat. Here, though, the workers have to find their own. Official figures reveal last month alone 61 companies flouted the rule.
Well, at this camp anyway, the midday break is being enforced. The problem is, though, that the labour camp is 2 hours away. We're in the middle of the desert, and as you can see, these workers have to find shelter from the sun wherever they can. It's now 2 o'clock. We've just taken the temperature in the shade. At the moment, it's around 47 degrees Celsius, or nearly 120 degrees Fahrenheit.
The weary workers came with a barrage of grievances. As trade unions are banned in Dubai, they're often ignored. I owe the recruitment company 3 years' salary, said this Bangladeshi man. I can't go home till my debts are paid. His workmate told us he was promised £250 a month. His salary, though, is nearer to 100.
We are all people angry.
You are angry?
Yeah.
As well as meagre salaries, horrific injury, even death are also occupational hazards. Here at Dubai's new state-of-the-art trauma centre, the majority of those with serious injuries are construction workers. There are no official figures, but it's estimated around 900 labourers died last year, and if it weren't for the expertise here, that figure would probably be much higher.
And as he gets more stable, we're going
Dr.
to
Moin Fikri is in charge up in intensive care. He told me they see 6 severely injured patients every day. Many are migrant workers. Among the injured, we came across a 22-year-old Bangladeshi man. He was lucky to be alive.
A whole block of concrete fell on his chest and abdomen. He had multiple bad injuries. He had punctured lungs, and he had bad injuries to his spine.
That evening, we saw at first hand exactly why the injury rate's so high. We spotted these workers balancing precariously on the 11th floor of a tower block. Many of them weren't wearing safety gear. This is the Palm Jumeirah, Dubai's most prestigious residential resort. The developers, Nakheel, told us 25% of luxury villas here have British owners, among them David Beckham and 12 other England footballers. Nakheel told us workers' safety is a priority.
Nakheel understand that there is a code that has to be met to work with Nakheel.
So for you, health and safety is...
Health and safety is extremely important in a company that's building.
But we discovered that even here, some workers are at risk. On a boat trip out to where they're building the footballers' villas, we saw these 3 workers up on a roof, wearing no visible safety gear. A Nakheel spokesman said they will take action against any building contractor who falls below their safety standards. The Labour Ministry's been tasked with improving the conditions of the migrant workers. We showed one of those in charge some of the disturbing footage we'd taken on one construction site. So these workers obviously had nowhere to go during the midday break, 47 degrees in the shade. Is this something you think should be happening, or do you think this should change?
I think, since I'm just looking at what's happening, we need to go back to the people responsible of regulating and explain to them that there is a new situation. We were worrying about people working in the sun. Now we have people in the shade without the proper condition.
So you think that this is something you're going to look at?
Yeah, I'm sure once the minister sees this, he will do something about it.
Despite some small victories then, there's still no prospect of a minimum wage or trade unions being made legal. One Indian campaign group told us 100 workers committed suicide last year, 16 more than in 2005. So many others, though, live on in debt and despair to build someone else's big dream.